Hey everyone, it's ScotRail 96 here. Welcome to another Train Sim World 4 livestream. Hope you're doing well out there, wherever you are around the world, and have had a wonderful weekend so far. For today's livestream, we're taking a look at yet another route that is reasonably new to the series, and that route in question is made by Rivet Games. Their second Scottish route, the Fife Circle Line, a route that I've wanted to see in Train Sim World for quite some time, and yeah, now it's in the game, which I'm pleased. Despite a rocky start, pre-release and the first couple of weeks of the Fife Circle Line being available and being in a bit of a mess, but Rivet have promised that the new Leven branch, which opens in real life tomorrow, in fact, will be added to the game's route, the Fife Circle route, for free, and they also, in conjunction with that, released a pretty reasonably sized patch that not only completes for now the Fife Circle timetable as they originally planned, but also made some fixes based on community feedback, whatever the heck that means. So let's get into the journey mode and have some fun. So we're going to operate this service here, part of the Dundee commuter service from Markinch to Edinburgh Waverley, and hopefully we can do the clockwise section of the Fife Circle in another journey. So yeah, let's do this service. Actually, no, we'll do this one. We'll go from Edinburgh Waverley to Markinch, and then we'll go from Glenrose with Thornton back to Edinburgh. So it's kind of like a circle. Hey Sophie, yes, well, I've deleted a few things from the game, so it's a little bit less in size. So hopefully the game will run a little bit smoother. Well, it will run more smoothly. There's no doubt about that.
ScotRail service to Dundee.
And I've got the motion blur turned on from the outset.
Haymarket, South Gyle, Edinburgh Gateway,
Okay.
Inverkeithing, Aberdour, Burnt Island, Kinghorn, Kirkcaldy, Markinch. If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff or text the British Transport Police on 61016.
You can't increase the brightness or the volume on the GSMR radio, even though it's already on. Oh, it's registering now. Oh, now I can adjust the brightness and the volume. Okay, let's turn on the safety systems. Sounds all good to me. Headlights are on. Yeah, the one disappointing thing is that the screen here, which I thought you might be able to interact with, unfortunately you can't do anything with that screen, which is disappointing. It is nice to have the announcement, which I think is automated. You can't turn it on or off, or edit the announcements like you could on the 385 on the ScotRail Express. But here we are, back in familiar territory, Edinburgh Waverley. What is a bit disappointing is that these do not sub in to the ScotRail Express timetable, as AI at least. Because it would be pretty pointless, won't it, just doing a service from Dundee to, Edinburgh to Haymarket. But yeah, this is a more lively Edinburgh Waverley than the ScotRail Express version. There's no doubt about that. Having these and 385s and AI, I think. Hitachi Azuma trains, the LNER services, they scuttle into the platforms here, which I've seen on another service I did. I think it was a depot run I did, and I just saw a couple of LNER sets just parked in at the platforms here. And they actually say something there. What is that? It must be this must be the LNER trains then. They're calling it Edinburgh Waverley, formed of 9 coaches. Yeah, that's the Azuma trains, and they're due in at 8:28. And one at 8:58. Okay, fair enough. I think 385 just turned up. I think I've just heard it. There's another one there. Right, let's go. Yeah, so the 385 has just turned up from Glasgow, presumably. Horn sounds good from the inside as well as the outside. I mean, to be fair, with the 170, you know, I will give Rivet a little bit of credit. The cab does look more cleaner. It seems a bit more effort has gone into the cab compared to the 385. Certainly from the button sounds, they're not just. I think the sound recordings from the cab, in particular from the 385, was very disappointing because I think they just took the exact same sound. Interior sounds from the the button switches in particular from the Class of 484, the ex-London Underground stock for the Isle of Wight, and just slapped it onto the 385, which made it completely unrealistic. It certainly didn't sound great. They weren't good sounds to begin with, and yeah, they just did not suit the 385. And obviously, as this is a diesel multiple unit, it sounds much more realistic compared to the 385 sound set. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the same power unit, the same diesel engine as the 166, which you have on Great Western Express. So that's probably why, to those of you that may pick up the Fife Circle Line and be like, oh, this sounds familiar, that's where these sounds have come from, the 166 from Great Western Express. Now, whether these sound realistic, it's difficult to tell. Has she stopped speaking? She has. That's going to really annoy me, that. But yeah, it sounds okay, Is it completely inaccurate? I am not the one to judge for that because I honestly don't know. But the sound in general sounds okay. It's not bugged. It's not delayed. It's not looped. Don't hear any bad looping. It's just okay. But yeah, all round, I think this 170 diesel multiple unit is a step up from the 385. There can be no doubt about that. But should I say it's 110% realistic to the real world version? Looks wise, I'd say yes for now. Operationally, sound wise, I wouldn't say a definitive yes. But this is certainly better than what I was expecting. There could be no question about that. Especially since when I looked at that preview video, that walk around of the 170, it didn't look or sound good. So judging that video from what I'm experiencing now is a pleasant surprise, I must say. So this is a Haymarket, familiar territory, of course. No need to judge Haymarket because I've already been through it more than once. Stopped at the station, charged through the station on the ScotRail Express, so yeah, familiar surroundings. And there is a depot. Yeah, there's the Haymarket depot. I wonder if you could do any depot runs in and out of Haymarket. I didn't actually check the timetable, but there is a couple of more than a couple actually. A few sets there in the depot. Whether they're just props, as I like to call them, or actual services. You know, you could get in the train and conduct a service in and out of the depot. I do not know. It's definitely better than ScotRail Express because there was no trains, be it static or you know, actual services you can do from the depot. So that is an improvement. And you would have the Edinburgh trams trundling up and down this area of the route. From Edinburgh, I think it goes as far as the stadium where the rugby international matches take place. And I have seen the little small, if not very badly detailed trams in operation. Obviously you can't operate them in real life, but in the game that is. But it's nice to see, you know, just trundling around, you know, adds a little bit to the immersive experience. So the second stop is South Gyle. We'll be turning off the fast lane that is the part of the ScotRail Express route, and then heading towards the Fife Circle route itself. There's the tram, speak of the devil. Just went past there. Hey Banana Craft, nice to see you, hope you're well. Oh, just chilling. Oh, lovely. Always nice to have an evening off. I think it's the first time I've seen you come on the stream and say, you know, you're chilling, because normally every time you come on the stream you're either out on the road conducting your work. Not today, it seems, or tonight as it is in the UK, or this afternoon, or this morning, whatever time of day you may be watching this. The power and brake handle feels very responsive. That is nice. That is nice. Right, say goodbye to the main line. One thing that is, I don't know, it's maybe you hear it differently on the stream compared to me, but in my headset, this feels eerily quiet when when you don't put on the throttle. It sounds just a little bit too quiet. It would be nice if you could hear a bit more of the motors. Sugar.
We'll soon arrive at South Gyle.
I don't think we will, love. I think I put the emergency brakes on by mistake.
Before you leave the train.
Whoa. Yeah, don't take your luggage, people, off the train. I seem to have made a complete hash of it. I thought there was a 4-step brake. I didn't realise it was a 3-step. Please work. Yeah, rock and roll. That's how you get it moving from a emergency stop. That's good. Interesting that the announcement had a little jingle there. I thought they took that away, because that was on the 385s before, but they actually then removed it because of I think people just didn't like the sound. It just sounded irritating or unrealistic. Because the announcements Rivet have put onto to their two Scottish routes. They're not completely realistic. They are, you know, I imagine the dialogue is realistic, but maybe the obviously, you know, the audio itself, the sound recordings are by a different person. I imagine one of Rivet's employees or something, rather than actual ScotRail announcements. Here we are at South Gyle. Oh dear. Yeah. That doesn't look good. That bland, flat grass texture. I'm not a fan of that. You know, at least they bothered to add a few bushes, but it's not enough for my liking. I mean, I suppose it can look a bit realistic. You know, you could say, well, the gardener may have come along and cut the grass. I can understand that. It's just the texture. It doesn't look great. Never has, never will. It's got train planters, which I haven't bothered to fill up, of course. Not interested in the mastery stuff. Good, good, good. Ticket machines there. Good. Got your ramp. The dot matrix displays work. That's something. Welcome to Scotland posters. And a postcard of somewhere. Is that authentic? I don't know. I've never seen that before. More of that one. Better Railways. Is that a legit thing, or is that just one of Rivet's fictional posters? But yeah, other than that horrendous grass texture, the station don't look too bad. Oh, that's a nice touch. I didn't pay attention to that sound. So they've simulated, I think, the guard. You know, the buzzer, just like Midland Main Line with the 158. That is a nice touch. Thank you, Rivet. Just these little details, you know, make a big difference to the overall experience. Got another train coming in to the station that we've just left.
We'll soon arrive at Edinburgh Gateway.
Indeed, we will.
Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
Absolutely. Never forget your belongings. Hey, Sammy Smith, nice to see you. Hope you're well. I do apologise. I'm not going to be able to keep up with the live chat this evening. Edinburgh Gateway. This looks like a newish station to me. I don't know how new. It looks new. That's my first impressions. Just cruise up to the stopping point. So this is Edinburgh Gateway. This looks like a new station, like I've said for the third time already. Very much glass being incorporated more into the station's design. This is a nice architectural design. This is the waiting room. Oh, the lift works. Okay. God, that's loud in my headset. Okay, so the lift works. Not as good as the overground route. Whoa. Oh god. I seem to have beamed out of the building completely. Oh no. Where's the lift? That's the lift there. Okay, so the lift works at Edinburgh Gateway. That is cool. I don't think the lift works at all of the stations on this route, which is a bit which is unusual, but at least they work. Same on the ScotRail Express. Very good, Rivet. Good, good, good. Still not as good as the lifts on London Overground Goblin Line. Never before would I ever be saying to the wide world that the lifts at Barking Riverside would be such a cool feature on the game. Jesus. Okay, the next stop is Inverkeithing. It's just over 7 miles away. So we will, I think we do miss a few stations. I don't think we stop at all of them. I think, oops, where's the map? Yeah, so we are going to miss, is that Queen's Ferry? I can't read that, it's a little bit, oh no, that's North Queen's Ferry there. Dalmeny, I think that is. Might be wrong. That's Inverkeithing, and after Inverkeithing, we will then take the, I suppose, the anti-clockwise section, as I call it. You can do services that go clockwise as well to Glenrose with Thornton, but we are going to Markinch. You know, stopping at the likes of Kirkcaldy and Kinghorn. But of course we have to cross the magnificent Forth Bridge. Double Spider Gaming, hey, nice to see you, hope you're well. Ben Davis, good to see you again, hope you're well. I will get this route, I'm trying 125 on this route in the timetable, and I'll get it at 125. Oh, okay, interesting choice. Hey Samuel Smith, nice to see you, hope you're well. Sophie, you got your biscuits tonight, Spurs? Don't think I do. No, I ate them. I've already eaten them. They were chocolate digestives as well. But I have a cup of tea that was piping hot, but it is no longer piping hot, but probably very cold. Just under 5.5 miles to go until Inverkeithing. I'd like to know what this bit of route is, or trackage, because you know, we've gone to the trouble of modelling it, but obviously there's no trains or services or anything. I don't even think AI services use that bit of track, but that's a lot of track to be, you know, Rivet have made and laid down. in the end to have absolutely nothing running on it. I wonder if we'll get an extension maybe to that route, to that bit of track in the future. Who knows? Or maybe enable other services. Who knows? Okay. That horn, that doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound bad at all. Right, let's get on the brakes here. I know I don't stop at this station, but I want to stop at this station. I want to have a look at it. CCTV in operation. That's correct. So this is Dalmeny, a light here for South Queens Ferry. It's don't look too bad. No cars running on it, mind you. That's a bit sad, but it's don't look too bad. Look at that, you got the walkway up to the platforms. Long walkway. Hey, that's a nice touch. Walk down on. I like that. You know, when you can walk down to the road, look up and see the train on the platform. I like that. That's cool. ScotRail information thing. Sadly, that's a waiting room which you cannot access. Dot matrix displays work. That's good. Another walkway. They've modelled all the way down to the bottom. This must be the station car park. Maybe not just for the station. It might be for the local community. Maybe like local shops or something. That's a big disabled bay. Unless it's just all disabled bays. I'm not entirely sure. Got a bus at the bus stop. The camera won't let me go any further, but you can see it's got the Dalmeny sign there with the National Rail logo. That's cool to see. Once you go down to street level, you won't be able to see the train, but you'll be able to certainly hear it coming onto the platform. Alright, we need to get moving because we're already running late and probably causing a traffic jam on the Fife Circle as it is. So let's go and cross the Forth Bridge. It's pretty quick. I mean, 50 miles per hour across it. I thought it'd be a little bit slower than that. Personally speaking, I mean, I'm not a big fan of heights, so I would take it slow and steady, but Bernardo Croft, is this train diesel? Yeah, it is. This is a diesel multiple unit. Yeah. But here we are crossing the Forth Bridge. That don't look too bad. Look at that. That's a nice view. It doesn't look too bad. Yeah, the distant scenery could be maybe touched up a little bit more, but this, I have no complaints. This is fantastic. Look at that. How long must have taken to be modelled? I do not know, but yeah, credit where credit's due. Maybe up close the graphics, the detail, the textures don't look as sharp, but from a distance in these kind of lighting conditions, yeah, this don't look too bad. Not too bad at all. Look at that. Got a little island down there as well. It seems it's been modelled in a reasonably accurate manner. And you got the other bridge there. That's the road bridge. I don't know what it's actually called. I'm going to be honest. I'm not the best when it comes to names and bridges. But wow, yeah. Easily this is the best looking part of the route so far. As we've just got over 2 miles to go until Inverkeithing. There's another train. We've seen quite a few already. I mean, I think that's the third one we've seen. It's not too bad. Sophie Nova 166 is a Perkins engine, the 170 is... Oh, it's an MTU German engine. Oh, right, okay. My mistake. But they do sound very, very similar, the 166 and the 170 from an engine perspective, in the game, that is. There could be no doubt about that. Oops. Speeding a little bit there. Nice bit of variation in the topography. Lots of steep up and downs. Hopefully we get a nice steep uphill gradient. Put the 170 under a bit of stress. Let the engines do a bit of the hard work. Banana Craft's got a busy day up London tomorrow. Oh, very nice. Hopefully the weather will be good for you. Weather has been very, very hot. So far, so good. I mean, I've got a week off starting on Wednesday, so that'll be nice. Going away for a week. Right, we are approaching Inverkeithing. You'll hear the announcement go off shortly. It's a hospital visit. Ah, right, I see.
We'll soon arrive at Inverkeithing. Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
Out into the daylight, and there is the station, Inverkeithing. The third stop of the journey. If you'd enjoyed the stream so far and you like what you see or hear, then of course feel free to hit the thumbs up button below. And if you are watching for the first time, be it live or on playback, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. Right, here we are at Inverkeithing. It's a good thing actually we do have these Scottish announcements, because even though I'm not a fan of it being on constantly, it is good to have it on. So yeah, in case I get the station pronunciations wrong. Inverkeithing, a light here for the Edinburgh Airport bus link. Again, I can't complain. The station infrastructure looks good. Don't look too bad. Looks a little bit too clean for my liking. I mean, Edinburgh Gateway may be the exception, but it would be nice to have a little bit of rubbish, you know, some graffiti, some dirt and grime everywhere, you know. This again, this flat grass texture. Ugh. Hate it. Surely the lawnmowers, surely the men with the grass cutters don't cut it that well. Surely. There's another train just coming into the platform. Alright, let's go to Aberdour, that's the state. This is a station I do not know how to pronounce correctly, but I'm sure the announcer will fix that issue. Only problem is I'll have to remember the way the announcer says the next station. Otherwise I'll irritate a lot of people. Yeah, people saying, you're still saying it wrong after all these years. Okay, Banana Craft, no problem. Have a good night. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Ben Davis, as we can get him on PC, what about the 43 HST plus 800 LNER on the timetable? The LNER is an interesting one because I don't think we have the right version of Azuma to operate services on the timetable. I think like services to I'm gonna have a guess here. Is it Aberdeen or is it it's not, it couldn't be Inverness, could it? No, of course not. Or is it Dundee? I don't know. Might be Aberdeen. Yeah, I think the version of Azuma we'll need is with the more punchy diesel engine or electric motors or whatever. Because I actually did a little experiment earlier in the week of taking the Azuma that we already have in the game with its puny little electric motors, stuck it on the this route, and actually tried to do a service from Edinburgh to Markinch, and it just struggled so much up the steep gradients because it was just so slow at acceleration. It was awful. It took me so long, way longer than it would normally, would take. If we had the right version of LNER Azuma, hopefully, one day we could maybe have even more services, and also be nice to operate the LNER Azuma on a different route for a change, rather than just thundering up and down the East Coast Main Line, albeit the boring section that we have at this moment in time. Hopefully we get the East Coast Main Line South one day, fingers crossed, as well as the different version of the LNER Azuma to run services on this. Wouldn't it be cool, have the Azuma running around in this part of Scotland, this really nice scenic part of Scotland, in real life that is. In the game, well, it doesn't look too bad at close quarters. I think distance scenery needs to be improved, especially those fields. Ugh, look at that. Ugh. Flat grass texture. It may help with performance and all that, route stability, frame rate, etc. But I don't like that. Like a bit of detail, a bit of life into it. Put some animals in there, like cows or sheep, horses. Just things like that. The station is fast approaching. Just over 1 mile to go. Johnny McGuire, ScotRail, what's your impressions of the route? I've not got this route yet. Do you recommend it? Looks good, but I think the trackbed is way too dark for my liking. I agree. The trackbed is a bit too dark. It needs to be, well, excuse the punt, but livened up a bit, or lightened up a bit.
We'll soon arrive at Aberdour.
Aberdour, okay.
Don't
Not
forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
yes, that's correct. Aberdour, not Aberdour. Aberdour. Okay, we are approaching Aberdour. Let's get on the brakes. Ooh, don't want to overshoot. Come on, brake a little bit more. Okay, we'll be alright. But yeah, to answer your question, Johnny Maguire, so far, the route is okay. It's okay. It's better than what I expected. Of course, this route has been updated in a pretty big way, adding lots of additional services, some rail tours if you have the corresponding DLC to operate them, and I think they fixed a few issues with the 170, as well as addressing some scenery of the route. But yeah, this route is definitely in a better condition than what I initially thought it would be, especially prior to release and maybe the first week or two after this route released. So I think, you know, this is a nice a nice different kind of Scottish route. Like you've gone from the fast, pretty straightforward ScotRail Express, you know, thundering along with some pretty modern traction, albeit the sounds are completely inaccurate. This is more different. You've got more stations to play with. You've got multitude of journeys you can do, so you can go from Edinburgh to Glenrose with Thornton, Edinburgh to, you know, Markinch, either via going that way or that way for the coastal route. I imagine this would be more on the countryside, and obviously the Fourth Rail Bridge looks pretty darn impressive, as you probably have seen in the stream. Yeah, I think this route is much better than what I was expecting. To be honest, my expectations were very, very, very low. But yeah, I think this is a solid product from Rivet Games. Is it the best they've made? Just thinking of the routes they have released. This could be actually their best overall package they've released so far. I think the route is just so different, you know, the topography is different, more stations, you know, running via the coastline or running in the depths of the countryside. The multiple unit is actually fairly nice to operate, sounds pretty decent as well. The announcements, even though it's irritating, you can't turn them off if you know, want to have the experience without the announcements, which is, you know, personally I would prefer the announcements off rather than on. I would prefer complete authenticity than, you know, like 50% or authenticity and then, you know, 50% not being authentic, completely authentic. But you know, it is a nice touch, there's no doubt about that. So I do think if you want to expand your Scottish experience in the game, I do recommend you get this. At full price, no chance. This is not worth full price. Despite the route being, you know, fairly decent size, I think it's over 50 odd miles or something. But this is not worth £30. No way. If you get it on a discount, I think that's fair enough. Maybe 20, maybe 30-40% off. I'd say yeah, go for it. Obviously, we have the Leven branch, which will be officially open tomorrow in real life, and apparently, according to Rivet, will be added as a free post-launch, as a free update to this route.
We'll soon arrive at Burnt Island. Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
Oh yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, the Leven branch, which you got a bit of it here, that will be added for free to the route, so that means even more journeys you can do, and more services to add to this timetable. And then on to the fact, even though I'm not a fan of what Skyhook have done from a business side, they're going to add a ScotRail Class 158, where they've made some quite significant alterations to the model. So it's not just going to be the same Midland Main Line 158 with a new livery slapped on the exterior, as well as I imagine the interior as well. Some changes in colour, seating and posters and all that stuff. But judging by what Skyhook is saying, the 158 is going to be significantly different, the ScotRail version that is, to the Midland Line version, which is good to see. So at least Skyhook is putting some effort into it. What I'm not a big fan of is that they're going to be charging probably like 10 or near £10 for essentially the same piece of kit, albeit with significant alterations to the exterior and maybe interior as well. Maybe operationally that'll make a difference. And then obviously not far around the corner, albeit not for this route, for the Glasgow Cathcart Circle Line, which will be getting a huge visual upgrade, will be Dovetail's ScotRail Class 380. So yeah, if you like the ScotRail stuff, if you're a Scottish fan of Trainsim Well, then you're in for a bit of a treat, because this route isn't too bad. Glasgow's Cathcart Circle, which I really like, is getting a makeover. That's going to get a new multiple unit, the 380, about darn time. And the 158, which is a fairly decent multiple unit made by Skyhook, is going to be added to this route, albeit at a stupid price. So yeah, everything's a bit rosy with the Scottish stuff so far. I forgot where we are. Where are we? Glasgow Queen Street. That's where we are. Is it right? Is that right? No, it's not. That's the wrong sign. We're not at Glasgow Queen Street. What? I'm not losing my mind here, am I? No, we're at Burnt Island. These are the wrong signs. Ugh. I was saying that this was a solid route, and then we get this stupid error. I mean, how could Rivet get that so wrong? It's Glasgow Queen Street. This is the wrong sign. I don't think this is Glasgow Queen Street, mate. Jesus. That's a shame. That ruins the station, because I quite like the location here. I mean, look at that. That looks good. Burnt Island's first station was opened 1847 by the Edinburgh and Northern Railway. What a cool little plaque. And you've got a little room with nothing in it. I like the plaque. That's a nice touch. Destination displays work. That's good. You got the dockyard back here, which is cool. Cranes, albeit they're not in operation, so they don't animate, but I wonder if there's I bet you there's like a mastery tile where there's like a ship being made, or container ship, or something along those lines. I think that's being made. Well, it looks okay. Not very lively, but it would be nice to have some workers, Oh no, there is one. He's on guard, making sure that this tank does not become highly flammable. Oh, I have locked the doors. Okay. Okay, well, Burnt Island don't look too bad, except from the station having the wrong bleating signs for it. Never mind. Off we go. The next stop is Kinghorn. TJ, hey, how are you? Hope you're well. TJ couldn't care less if the really far scenery is rubbish as long as the scenery and visual range is okay. Fair enough. I mean, I prefer absolute perfection, but that's just me being me. You know, you pay high prices for these things. You know, you expect. I personally expect a lot better from the visual scenery perspective, but that's just me being me. You know, I like everything to look good. Obviously, from maybe the visual impetus of the cab, where you're operating the surface. Obviously, I want the nearby scenery, close to the tracks and the driver's eye line to be, look fairly decent. And I can agree with you on, that the distant scenery, maybe doesn't need as much attention as the scenery close to the tracks, and that is true. But I just prefer, when you get in the free cam and have a look around, it would be nice to just see a few more trees here or a few more trees there, instead of just some bald patches there of just horrendously terrible 2D textures of grass. But that's just me being me. I'm a fussy person. Okay, we're coming up to Kinghorn. Alright, let's get on the brakes and reduce to the new speed limit of 30 miles per hour. God, my right foot has gone numb. It feels absolutely horrible. I don't know why, because my foot is on the ground. Into the tunnel, albeit a very short tunnel. Not many tunnels on this route. I think there's, I'm going to have a guess. I'd say maybe 4 tunnels, but that's a complete guess from me. One route I am looking forward to taking a look at is the Semmering Barn. That is littered with tunnels and viaducts. There's no question about that. I haven't heard the announcement go off. Unless I was mumbling and grumbling as always and missed the announcement. Well, I didn't hear it. Ooh. Normally you'd hear a little jingle. Not this time. Alright, here we are at Kinghorn. That does have the right station sign. Good. Got a little local industry here. Not sure what it is, but it's cool. This road does not look good. And the texture of the ground, I don't know, there's something a bit off with this. It would be nice to have some potholes or something. I mean, this is the UK after all. Famed for its horrendous road network. Well, as far as potholes go, that is. Yeah, this is alright. This is a nice view. Got the church over there, chapel, rocks, the beach. This reminds me of West Cornwall. That there does not look good. That doesn't look right to me. Not sure if that's meant to be a cobble little walkway or something, but yeah. Just the texture of the tarmac, I mean, or the gravel, it just doesn't look right. It's never been a strong bit of Train Sim World. I mean, I know it's only a small bit of tarmac, for the road network and all that. And this is a train game, so it shouldn't really matter as much. But it does matter to me, especially close to the station. It matters to me. Station car park? I don't know. How do you access a station? Tell me now, game. It's a waiting shelter. This must be the main station building here. Oh, you can walk in. Is that how you get out and in, I suppose, through those doors? I'm not sure. Yeah, the road doesn't look good. No doubt about that. That's not good at all. These houses look good. Are they new? They look good. That's an awkward place to put the goal. I think you need to turn it a bit more, I think, for the kid to play football in his park, in his garden. Yeah, mixed bag, King Hall. Looks good in some areas, less good in others. Right, let's go to the next stop, which is Kirkcaldy. 3 miles away. Ah. Oh, that's on the station. I thought it was on the train. I heard it so close in my ear, I thought, oh, it's another in-train announcement thingamabob. Sophie Puster cold and beef service patterns is known for termination services. You could turn announcements off, just mute the sound. That's true. That's very true. By Christmas if we're lucky. Oh, Rosyth is the naval dockyard. Ah, right, I see. Getting me dockyards mixed up. A lot of people that keep popping in and out and tuning in. I do appreciate the support, Every view counts, as they say. So even though you're probably, going to come in and watch for like 10 seconds or something, I do appreciate you coming in and seeing what's going on at least. Regardless if you're interested in the Fife Circle Line or not. So yeah, thank you for everyone that's tuning in. If you're watching for 30 seconds or for the past, 35, 40 minutes. I appreciate it, so thank you. Thankfully I can go on as long as I want with this stream. I don't have to worry about time or anything. I've got a day off, another day off tomorrow, so it's fine. It's weird. I have to only work one day and then I'm on holiday again after that. Weird. Well, it's not really a holiday, it's just a break. Needed a week's break. We're coming up to a football stadium. I want to know what this is. I want to look at it, but I can't because the game will break, especially at the speed I'm doing. But I don't know if the football stadium looks accurate, but it's cool to see a football stadium. Another one, of course, another stadium close to the railway. There's the announcements.
We'll soon arrive at Kirkcaldy.
Kirkcaldy.
Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
Absolutely. I think the stadium we just passed. I'm just trying to look at it, what the stadium is called. I was going to speed up then, just in case the game wasn't happy with where I stopped. But yeah, it's Starks Park Football Ground, home of Rafe Rovers Football Club. Played there since 1891, has a capacity of 8,867. Apparently it's good for kids. Apparently, according to the Apple Maps app. Says good to know, good for kids, accept credit cards and contactless payments. Well, it's rated 4.5 by TripAdvisor. 4.5 stars. Must be some stadium. Hey Nathan, hope you're well. Thanks for tuning in, appreciate it. Just taking a little tour of the Fife Circle Line in Train Sim World. Oh, I never got a chance to see what the station's like. Hold me horses. There's me getting excited. I want to have a look at this. This looks like a newish kind of station, doesn't it? Nice and clean. No branding there? I thought there would be branding. I thought there would be, wouldn't you? The lift. Does the lift work? It does indeed. Does work. Damn, you can hear it as well. It's a noisy lift. It's rumbling in my headset. My gosh. There's the ticket machines. Oh no, it's is it a vending machine? Not sure. Interesting layout. Don't know what those doors are for or where they go to. Waiting rooms, I imagine, or toilet. Ticket machines. Recycling point there, that's cool. PIS displays work. The police apparently goes here. There's a police station or something? Ooh. Interesting. So where does the lift go then? Where is the lift? Where is the lift? Wi-Fi zone apparently. Ah, there's the lift. So that's the underpass here to platform 2. Another car park. Oh, I like this station. It's cool. Weirdly, I mean, normally I like the older stations in there for like for a bit of character. But the newer ones I do like. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe because of their interactability, I should say, and the fact, you know, as they're new and shiny, you know, it looks more natural. Kirkcaldy. Car park there. God, that van isn't parked very well. Naughty. Don't park like that, people. You'll fail your driving test. There's no signage though, like out the front, you know, saying Kirkcaldy Station or welcome to Kirkcaldy Station. Why there's a container just dumped there? I have no idea. Okay. That's where you put your bikes. Yeah, it's a nice station. Not too bad. Not my favourite, I still prefer Edinburgh Gateway. But not too bad. The next and the final stop is Markinch. And then we will do another journey, but going from Markinch, or if possible, Glenrose with Thornton, all the way back to Edinburgh. Wonderful. If I can get it done before midnight, happy days. That's the aim of the game. Don't know how long the stream's been going on for. Only just gone an hour. It's not too bad actually. Feels like hours. I don't know why. Oh, might have to have another cup of tea, I think, once the stream is done. Or maybe take the healthier option and just have water. But then again, I think I'll have filtered water. I'm not convinced that the water recently in the past 24 hours has been exactly clean. Because one of my kittens is not very well, and yeah, I'm not really sure why. Apparently one of them was sick last night. I was thinking, well, I don't know what they could have had in the middle of the night to have made them sick. I mean, it's hard to police, so to speak, because, you know, you're sleeping during the night, but I think one of them jumps up onto the kitchen, you know, up on the side and the kitchen, and drinks out of the tap, from the tap, you know, just try and get little droplets of water from the tap, and I think it's making them ill. They do drink from their water bowl, and I've recently got them a water fountain that is filtered with a little filter. So, you know, you put water in it, and what you get out of the fountain, filtered water. But yeah, recently they broke it, so they didn't like it, and they pushed it off the side, and it broke, and water went everywhere, and that was the end of that. So stuck to normal water in their water bowl. I mean, they do drink out of the water bowl, but sometimes in the middle of the night they just don't, and just decide to go for the sink and the tap instead. And I don't know why, I'm just convinced that I think the water coming out of that tap is not entirely clean. I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise. I mean, I think the quality of water coming into, you know, people's homes, either if it's by the southeast or recently I think in Devon, you know, sewage water and all that, you know, contaminated water, yeah, it's not good. Pretty bad, you know, pretty shocking, you know, in 2024, and we're getting horrendous quality of water, you know. I mean, we already had, you know, issues, you know, in this country, you know, with sewage, you know, being dumped into our rivers and oceans, more nearby, you know, beaches and stuff like that. You know, it's pretty appalling, really, especially by these water companies, you know. You know, I think they have, you know, billions of pounds in their pockets, and they just don't want to do anything about it. So yeah, not good. I think nearby where my granddad lives, there was a village nearby, you know, saying that I can't remember which village it was, but it was something like you can't drink water from the tap; it has to be boiled, because I think the, you know, normal cold water you normally get from your tap, you know, for your water or to fill your kettle, is contaminated. That's Thames water for you. And another thing as well is that the River Thames obviously is in a horrendous condition. So much so, I think when the boat race, the university boat race between Oxford and Cambridge took place, I think in was it late March, early April? I think one of the participants complained that the quality of water was so bad it made him feel ill. He or she, I'm not sure. Yeah, not good. Obviously, with a general election coming up, I imagine the quality of water, be it, you know, sewage being dumped into rivers or oceans, or, you know, just contaminated water in general, you know, into people's homes and communities. You know, I imagine that's going to be a pretty big topic in this general election. Not the biggest topic, not the number one thing. You know, I imagine the economy and other issues, maybe outside of our borders, so to speak. But yeah, a big enough issue. There's no doubt about that. And if my cat's getting ill because of it, then yeah, not good. So I think I may have to get up a few times tonight just to see if the little ones are okay. Don't want them puking up and being sick in the night. It's not fun. Anyway, we are not too far from Markinch. It's just over 1.5 miles away. Again, I'm not a fan of this film. I mean, look at that flat landscape there. I mean, I can't go out in the free cam, otherwise the game will break from me, you know, just standing around in a free cam and taking a look at the scenery. But I wish they would put something in there, you know, put some livestock in there. Some cows, some goats, some sheep, some horses, all of them, you know, just as something. Have a tractor in there looking like it's ploughing a field, or a combine harvester, or anything, or, you know, flowers or something, you know. Just get a bit sick and tired, you know, just seeing flat, almost like desolate wastelands of should be thriving, you know, fields full of livestock or flowers, you know. I mean, this is the springtime after all, and the summer isn't too far away either. So we've obviously passed the section that will go off to 11 branch, of course, which either is open today or open tomorrow. I thought it opens tomorrow, but on the 2nd of June. But let's see, is today even the 2nd of June? Is the 2nd of June? Oh, it does open today. My God, I've been saying it opens tomorrow and it doesn't. Oh dearie me. Boy, are we very late indeed. Nearly, what, 12-13 minutes late, but oh well, at least we've made it in one piece. That's all that matters. I must say, I do like having a good old style digital clock. I like that. I like an analog. I like an older clock as well. But that's a nice touch. But there's Markinch, Journey's End.
We'll soon arrive at Markinch. Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
Okay. There we go. Journey's End. Here we are, Markinch. We've got some cars going over the bridge. Again, you know, this flat grass texture, I really don't like it. It just spoils the route. It really does. I mean, look, they can be bothered to put some grass here. There's some 2D, 3D grass, but they can't seem to be bothered just to put it, well, here, you know. I don't get it. Pavement's nice. I don't know why. Car park. Looks a bit steep, doesn't it, walking up to the station? Oh, this is cool. Market station. Yeah, I like this. Camera don't want to play ball. That does not look good. That is a shambles. I'm sorry. Look at it. This is outside the station. Look, you can walk in and out of the station. You walk out and you look at, you see this. Look at it. Christ almighty. Simply awful. Look at that. What a shambles that is. I know it's probably a drop-off point, you know, for the station, but, you know, it's part of the station infrastructure. This needs to look good. You know, where's the road markings and all that? The signage, you know, not good enough. I'm sorry. I know it's a small detail, but it's a detail they need to get right. A couple of signs at least looking good. There's a fair few ways to get in and out, which is cool. Markinch station. Does this lift work down to the platform? Should do. No, it doesn't. Okay, so this lift is out of action. It does not work. Oh, I am surprised. Especially as this seems to be a reasonably new station by the looks of it. Certainly a 21st century station. But yeah, it's disappointing. Markinch, I'm not a bit of a fan of. Scenery's a bit meh around it, and the lifts don't work. Never mind. But yeah, that is the journey concluded. It took me, well, obviously way longer than normal because I've been dawdling looking at stations. It took me just under an hour and 14 minutes. We stopped at Haymarket, South Gyle, Edinburgh Gateway, Inverkeithing, Aberdour, Burntisland, Kinghorn, Kirkcaldy, and finally Markinch. Let's go back to the main menu and see if we can find the other journey going in the other direction. TJ Locomotive Services, I've got a 45 back on the main line. First 45 to run on the main line since 2007. Oh, that's awesome. Have you seen the ROG Class 93? I have not, no. We'll do in a minute. I will do now. Now that you've said it. That's the Rail Operations Group, right? Oh yeah, that looks cool. I like that. That's cool. Nice green. What do you think of the London Overground? Pretty decent as far as dovetail standards go. I took a look at it last week and obviously did a scenario on it as well. Fairly decent. Not worth full price because of just how short and stubby it is. I mean, it's only 13 miles and there's only so much you can do on it. But, you know, it's a fairly decent route. It reminds me of the Glossop line, you know. It's a short but sweet little experience, no doubt. But not worth $24.99. Coastal Scenes, is that the one we've already done? And Waverley to Markinch, yeah, I've already done that. 5 cities at the inner loop. Yes, it is. Even though the map is broken, it should be going the other way. Operate commuter service from Glenrose with Thornton to Edinburgh Waverley. I think we will do that one. Apparently, it's going to be snowing like hell. We'll see, won't it? We'll see, but we'll see about that. TJ is off. Alright, TJ, nice to see you, my friend. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Speaking of streams and when the next one will be, the next stream will be tomorrow on Monday, the 3rd of June, 2024. And the route we'll be taking a look at is the I'm not sure actually which one. It's either the Semmering Barn or the Long Island Railroad commuter. It's one of those two. I'll decide probably tomorrow which one I which one I fancy to take a look at first. But either way, I'm looking forward to taking a look at those two, no doubt.
Welcome to the ScotRail.
This is at night time. That's no bleating good. I'll have to find one in the daytime. Yeah, daytime, not nighttime. I mean, it doesn't. The game in general doesn't look great at night time, but it's pretty pointless for a stream, isn't it? You want to see things, don't you? Not in the dark, thank you. Inner loop, please. We'll do that one then. Or that one. There we go. It'd be interesting about when the Glasgow Cathcart Circle Line gets updated, because then you can instantly compare this route and the Glasgow Cathcart Circle, because obviously visually that will be updated and have an updated timetable with the 380. So that'll be very interesting indeed. Right, I have to turn on the wipers for the first time.
Cardendon, Lochgelly, Cowdenbeath, Dunfermline, Queen Margaret, Dunfermline City, Rosyth, Inverkeithing, North Queensferry, Dalmeny, Edinburgh Gateway, South Gyle.
God, it's absolutely snowing like mad.
Edinburgh Waverley. If you see
Wiper
something
selection,
that doesn't look
both.
right,
Driver.
speak to staff or text the British Transport Police.
Oh
on
God, I've
61016.
I've turned on the wrong wiper.
See it, say it, sorted.
Fast. Off. And now turn it on. That's okay. Thankfully, you can't hear the I can't hear the wiper sound as clearly, so hopefully it won't be too annoying for you. Let's turn on the GSMR radio. Right, we've just got to wait a minute. No, I don't think I'll do a service in that snowy condition either. It's just a bit too much of a snowstorm for my liking there. God, who would have thought it'd be such a faff? Trying to find a service that's in decent weather conditions. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Both sides of the loop. That's what I like to see. Commuter service from Glenrose of Thornton to Edinburgh Waverley. I'll try that one. Let's see if it works this time. Hopefully good weather. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah, looking at that PlayStation Days of Play sale really annoys me, because I brought the Bahnstrecke Bremen-Oldenburg, the London Overground Goblin Line, and the Blackpool branches at full price, and obviously now there's a sale where those products I've just mentioned are on sale at a discount. So it really annoys me, because I couldn't have timed it more badly, you know. I picked them up at full price, and then there's a sale. If I knew there was a sale with them at a discount, I would have waited a few days at least and got them on a discount. Never mind.
Calling at Cardendon, Lochgelly, Cowdenbeath, Dunfermline, Queen Margaret, Dunfermline City, Rosyth, Inverkeithing, North Queensferry, Dalmeny, Edinburgh Gateway, South Gyle, Haymarket, Edinburgh Waverley. If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff or text the
British Transport Police.
on 61016.
See it, say it, sorted.
See it, say it, sorted.
There we go. That's going to get annoying over time. But then again, just don't play this route as much. I'm a bit surprised that this screen is not interactive. I can't even read what that even says on those options. I want to take a look at that. So you've got local fault, which the text is barely squeezed into the circle there. Parking brake, dragging brakes, and the train fault. It would be nice to at least see the screens. Not saying go in depth with the systems, but just to see the statistics. When you apply the brakes, you see the graphics move. The bar moving up and down. Seeing that the brakes have been applied or something like that. Just making sure the brakes are in good stead. At least the clock works. I suppose that's a good thing. Got the buzzer code there, which thankfully the guard buzzer has been simulated. That is a nice touch. Oh yeah, train lights. Make sure they're on. Windscreen demister. Notice board light on and off. It's good, good, good. Right, let's change back to the controller scheme I like and lock the doors. Before we do depart, let's take a look at Glenrose with Thornton. Wow. These people have a long way to walk down the road and down the little hill. Eesh, that does not look good. That road don't look good. It's not look too bad. Got the wind turbines in the background there, animating, moving. That's good. Yeah, not many electric services run on this section, the inner loop of the Fife Circle, or the clockwise direction as I call it, or anti-clockwise. Got a caravan park here. It's the second one on this route. Huge caravan park right next to the station. Alright, let's get back in the cab. Right, the first stop is Cardennan. It's just under 5 miles away. Let's let me just check the map a minute on the I've got the map of the route on my iPad. I really should have looked at earlier, but I didn't. Hey ho. I think on the outer loop, the coastal loop, how many stations did you have? You had Getty Bay, Aberdour, Burntis, Lanking, and Kirkcaldy. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 5 on the outer loop. The inner loop has much more, many more stations. You got Glenrose with Thornton. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stations. So altogether that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 stations on this route. That's not too bad. That's a good size. That's a good amount of stations. Oh my god, I can't believe what I'm seeing. There's a field with animals in it. Oh my god, that's a first. I'm sure the field looks as normally would look as bleak and dull as anything, but at least there's some sheep. He ain't moving. He's not fairly well detailed. You can barely tell he's got an eye. But it's a sheep. There's a flock of sheep. A herd of sheep. I'll take it. You know, just those little things, you know, make you think, oh, well, there's a herd of sheep just grazing on the grass. Another wind turbine in the distance there, on the right. Just pick it, you can just make it out. But yeah, interesting. Rivet Games, they added, I think, 33 services to the intersection alone, where it would operate services from Edinburgh to Cowdenbeath. So certainly this the inner section of the Fife Circle has significantly more traffic. There's no doubt about it. There's a little yard or something over there. What is that? It's nothing, it's just tracks. Don't know what for or why. It's interesting. Some sidings for some freight trains. I'm not sure if freight's actually been added onto this route's timetable. Maybe freight does pass through on the Fife Circle, but there's not enough industry, you know, to support, you know, freight, you know, like you know, tankers being dropped off, or you know, to the local industries along the line, or something like that. Don't think there's that much need for the freight services on this route. There might be maybe a few railhead treatment train services, but other than that, I'm not too sure. Ben Davis, what do you think of this route? Me, so far, I think it's decent. There's no doubt about it. It's certainly in better condition than when, you know, I initially caught a glimpse. First had a glimpse at the Fife Circle Line prior to release. I mean, the pre-release stream tells you all you need to know of how bad of a condition it was in. And then when it first came out, obviously, yeah, wasn't brilliant. The timetable wasn't finished, and some areas of the scenery which I've noticed, particularly on the countryside, you know, the fields in particular, and the road network, don't look brilliant, I must admit. But you know, close quarters, the scenery does look okay. The track ballast is a little bit too dark for my liking, but it is good that, you know, Rivet has upgraded this timetable. You know, they've added more services in, and obviously we've got the Class 158 coming along, which should be quite interesting to operate, which means I hopefully imagine even more services to do. But overall, you know, this is a fairly decent package. I do recommend you get this route on a discount if you can. So yeah, I think this route, if you were to give me, you know, an out of 10 estimate, I would give it I'd say maybe a 6.5 to maybe 7 out of 10. It's okay. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. You know, I think it's the biggest route that Rivet have made, and I think this is a fairly decent route. I don't think this is as good as, say, another third-party developer, the Midland Main Line on by Skyhook Games, because they have constantly improved and the route's experience. You know, what you can do on it and how it looks, etc. You know, the accuracies. I mean, at first it was in a pretty terrible state, but I love the fact how you know, Skyhook have improved the route's overall look and experience. I think that's what needs to happen on this route.
We'll soon arrive at Cardengan. Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
And here we are at Cardengan, the first station stop. I think that'll do. Right, let's get on the brakes. There we go. Yeah, so this section of the Fife Circle is more in the countryside, whereas this side is more, you know, on the coastal side. So let's have a look at Cardennan. A bit of a nothing station, I suppose, really. It's in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it serves its local community, I imagine, fairly well. So, yeah, the destination displays work. It's a fairly steep ramp to get down to ground level. Hopefully, in first-person mode, you can actually get on foot. Look at that, you got a bench, you know, some flowers. I like that. Sit on the bench, see the train, or maybe hear it. Yeah, we'll be able to see it. You can see it there, going by, departing or arriving at the station. That's a nice touch. This road don't look too bad, to be fair. Don't look too bad at all. Another walkway you can get up to here via a choice of steps. This don't look too bad. Bridge looks good. Let's go. Yep. Okay, the next stop is Lochgelly, 2 miles away. Some more wildlife or livestock. Sheep again, I think. Or is that horses? Maybe they are sheep, or maybe lambs. But again, nice to see at least the fields with something in them. I think I'll get out at the next station and have a little explore of the interior of this multiple unit. I mean, I've had a look at the cab at first class, but I haven't seen the rest of the train. Of course, the majority of services is made up with a single free coach variant of the Class 170. And I imagine there's a fair few liveries for the Class 170 already in the game for other British operators that use a Class 170 or used to.
We'll soon arrive at Lochgelly. Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
Seems like a Lochgelly. This is a fairly industrial kind of area. Excuse me. Platforms are staggered here at Lochgelly. Interesting. My goodness, do we go all the way to the end? Wow. Long platforms, mainly long platforms for the HSTs, and and there used to be I think Class 68 locomotives. That is a missing touch. I wish this route was set at the time where you had the Class 68s running around on this route. It would be so much fun. So this Loch Gelly. Down to the road. It's good. Nice little shelter. Got a ramp / a road down to the main road. It's a fairly industrial area over here. Don't know what businesses will be here, but obviously the station has a big importance then to the local industry as well as the community. Let's go to the next station, which is Cowdenbeath, 2 miles away. You know, this one 17 multiple units has a bit of a mashup of different sounds. I think it's got like the door opening and closing sounds from the like Electrostar units, the engine sounds from the 166. So I don't think this 170 is completely accurate as far as sounds go. I think River have just taken a mashup of sounds from different units, be it electric multiple units or diesel multiple units, and just mashed them together. I don't know. It's difficult to tell if those sounds are accurate to the 110% accurate to the real world version. My guess is not, but at least the sounds are okay in my book. Like, it's kind of annoying, but again, the sounds are okay. Yeah, I like the sounds, but they're not accurate. This is a lot of services that goes to Cowdenbeath. Why just Cowdenbeath? I mean, do they actually terminate at Cowdenbeath? So, because I think Rivet added over 30 odd services just for Cowdenbeath alone. So I think what will happen is you take the train from Edinburgh to Cowdenbeath, then I presume that then you just terminate the train, or maybe it scuttles off onto this bit of track here. I honestly don't know. I don't know the timetable very well on the Fife Circle at this moment in time. So maybe for those of you that know the ScotRail timetable for the Fife Circle, you'll know a hell of a lot. You will know a hell of a lot more than me. You can tell it's getting late now because my brain's starting to go a bit Scooby-Doo. It's a nice little reservoir down there, or a lake, river, stream, whatever you want to call it. I'll call it a lake or a loch. Maybe the Loch Ness Monster will be there waiting for us. Not too far now from Cowdenbeath.
We'll soon arrive at Cowdenbeath.
Indeed we will.
Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
Here is Cowdenbeath. On a fairly steep downhill or uphill gradient, depending which direction you arrive at the station. So that's a bit of a challenge for you there. I do like the topography of this route, you know, some fairly steep up and downs. Adds a layer of challenge to the 170. Oh yeah, I must turn that off a minute. Turn the vigilance off. I never bothered looking back here. Do any of those switches work? I imagine they don't. Oh, they do. Okay, you can cut them out as well as cut in. Right, I want to have a look. So this is first class. Yeah, you do have the ScotRail map. And a poster there for your tickets. Nice sound. This is the standard class. The maquette seats there look good. Yeah, doesn't look bad. Looks good. Right. The next stop is Dunfermline Queen Margaret. Margate, sorry, not Margaret. Jesus Christ. I do apologise. My brain is going to sleep. Is it Margaret? Oh, I think I might be right actually. Either way, the station is just over 3.5 miles away. When this service is finished, I'll take a quick look at the timetable just to show you what you can play with on this route, then I'll call it a day. The aim is to get this done before midnight. That's the aim. Whether we'll do that, whether we will meet that aim is another story. Yeah. I mean, just to do, you know, if you want to do a service from, I don't know, Edinburgh to Markinch, and then, you know, going via, you know, Kirkcaldy, and or taking the coastal section, and then you want to do a service going from Glenrose with Thornton back to Edinburgh. You know, it'll take you at least a couple of hours to do one full run of this route, you know, the full circle. And it's interesting there is no services that do that type of service, you know, which goes from Edinburgh all the way around the circle, you know, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Whether that happens in real life, I don't know, but it would be nice to have at least have that kind of type of service where you know don't have to go back to the main menu and select which version of which service on the Fife Circle you want to do. If you want to, you know, do the complete experience and go right around the circle, I think you can even do that in one of the scenarios. Would be nice to have had that. It would certainly take a long time, especially if you have to stop at every single station. That would take at least over a couple of hours. So, but yeah, it would take a fair while to, you know, do a complete run of the Fife Circle. At least a couple of hours. I mean, as much as I like the countryside, you know, in real life. Yeah, I mean, I so far I'd say that the outer section of the Fife Circle Line and the coastal route looks far better than the Vienna Loop, you know, in the countryside. It's just the fact there's so much, you know, so many bland fields, you know. And I know it's you know, maybe there is a reason behind that, whether it's to save time, money, or hopefully the better excuse, you know, performance, you know, on consoles or PCs or whatever, frame rate, whatever. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's in the driver's line, you know, view, the driver's eye line, and you know, it's just a bit irritating, you know, seeing those flat, uninspiring fields, you know. Like, there is a few fields, and there was some animals in it, which is good, but unfortunately, there's not enough.
We'll soon arrive at Dunfermline, Queen Margaret.
Exactly.
Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
I'm coming into the station a little bit too fast here. Hopefully I'll be okay. That'll do. Alright. Oh, this field doesn't look too bad. Look, they've bothered to add the 3D grass texture here, but then look, for the rest of the field, decided to not do that. Why, I do not know. Well, at least the station looks alright. Got your local bus. Serving a nice little village, albeit that's a lot of bungalows that look the same. They're good looking bungalows, but a bit too repetitive for my liking. It'd be nice to have a bit of differentiation in the types of houses at least. Unless it's a new build estate, then fair enough. Then they'll all be the bloody same, won't they? So that's Dunfermline, Queen Margaret. There is Market. I keep saying Market or Margaret. There's some crossing gates down there that I think are manually operated. You know, the old style crossing gates, sorry. Not manually operated, they're automated. I think they were like the old style crossing gates rather than normal modern day, you know, kind of crossing barriers you'd see. You know, the flashing lights and the sounds and all that. Anyway, the next stop is Dunfermline City, just under 1.5 miles away. We are running late, but that is no surprise. I don't even know, do we actually stop at all the stations? Rosyth. Okay, so we do stop at the other two stations, which we didn't before, North Queensferry and Dalmeny. Ooh, I haven't looked at those stations in detail. That'll be interesting. So we will get to see every single station on this stream, which is cool. So I'm trying to go as in depth as possible, you know, with a first look video. You know, especially to those who, you know, are not sure whether to pick the Fife Circle Line up, you know, after its reasonably sized update by Rivet Games. Okay, we are approaching Dunfermline City.
We'll soon arrive at Dunfermline City. Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
I think that speed limit board there was had the wrong number on it. It said 55 instead of 50. Have a train there, that's good. Two trains at the station. Good to see the AI have their PIS displays working, that's good. Every route has their AI trains with PIS displays working, which is good. So this is Dunfermline City then. Mind the gap, indeed. Yeah, it's interesting. Car park. Train's about to depart. Off it goes. Yeah, the station's okay. Certainly not my favourite. How do you get onto the platform then? You just go around this way, do you? Oh, fair enough. If we have to go through the station building, that's what I would have done. It's a shelter, albeit someone's blocking the way. None shall pass. You will not enter this room. It's mine. Okay, the next stop is Rosyth. It's just under 2 miles away. And then we will be joining up with Inverkeithing. That is where the Fife Circle, so to speak, will come to an end. Then we will take the short little track back to the main line. And then we will be then on the final approach then to Edinburgh Waverley, the main terminus of this route. So it's fairly downhill all the way from Glenrose with Thornton. It's quite cool. Oof, that field there don't look good. Another wind turbine there. Seeing a few of them on this side of the on the inner circle. Seen I think 4 or 5. It's a good touch. Especially one slapped in the amidst the local industry there. That's good. Very, very good. That will make Greta Thunberg happy. They're committed to saving the planet.
We'll soon arrive at Rosyth.
Indeed we will.
Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
We are indeed approaching Rosyth, the final station on the inner section, or the inner circle of the Fife Circle Line. Ooh, I've overstepped this one. Oops. Brake, 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 brake. So this is Rosyth. Better foliage here. Well, near the station, that is. I can already tell the rest of the field looks dull and with those 2D. This is what I don't get, you know. They're perfectly happy to put shrubs and weeds and hedges and detailed grass here, but no, they don't want to do it any further, do they? Probably to save time and frame rate. You know, I can understand that, but it just would be nice to push the boundaries a bit more. Look at this grass here, you know, it looks good. It's a shame there was a couple of stations on the approach to the outer section of outer circle of this route. They didn't have that at all. It's all flat, horrendous grass texture. I'll have a look at the top of this unit in a minute. Don't look too bad. Right, let's go to the next stop, which is Inverkeithing. We will get there. We will get there. It's just over the 2-hour mark in the stream. Speed limit will significantly come down very shortly to 30 miles per hour, as we'll be joining up with I suppose the main line, but it's not really the main line. It's the little section of track that connects the Fife Circle to the fast main line, aka the ScotRail Express route. That's already been out for well over a year for Train Sim World. Break. Set of sidings there. Maybe for the freight, maybe that may use this section of the line, or maybe for some empty stop moves. Maybe. I don't know.
We'll soon arrive at Inverkeithing.
Indeed we will.
Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
No need to take an in-depth look at this station, as I've already done that at the beginning of the stream, which feels like 100 years since the stream began. There we go. Take a look at the phone a minute. Just have a look at the... Right, let's go. Right, let's cross. Do we cross the bridge yet? No, we don't actually. We don't cross the 4th bridge yet because we have to stop at North Queen's Ferry. This is a station I have not seen in detail yet. So that will be the next station stop. It's 1.5 miles away. It's good to see the instrumentation dials. They look fairly accurate. At least they light up in the dark. It's hard to tell when the dials are actually, you know, lit up or not in the daylight. I don't think you can adjust the brightness manually. I don't think you can. I think they're just on the standard and set to their presumably the maximum brightness. So that looks pretty decent overall. God, that caught me out. Made me jump then. That wasn't the sound of a train, was it? This train operator was the other one. That just came past. There's a graveyard there we just passed. It's lovely. Wonderful. Huge multi-story car park for whatever. I mean, what is this down here? Look at that. What's all this? Bus is parked in the middle. I don't know. Is that the is that motorway over there? Dual carriageway? Not too sure. I think that's the start of the road bridge actually, just crossing over.
We'll soon arrive at North Queen's Ferry. Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
Indeed. Just trying to have a look, see what the bridge actually is, what it's actually called. The road bridge, that is. Oh, not sure. There's two types of road bridge. So the 4th road bridge is presumably a dual carriageway and a road. We're going way too fast. Stop. And then the other bridge is known as the Queen's Ferry road crossing. That uses the M90, presumably that's a motorway. Yeah, it is a motorway now, of course it is. Jesus, am I losing the plot? This is a cool station so far. And the road down here looks good. You got the traffic rolling by, that's good. It's down here don't look too bad, look at that. Apart from the road textures, but you know, this is a nice little scene here. So you got the two road bridges there, the A9900 whatever it is, and then the M90 or whatever bridge. They look faithfully recreated. And then obviously you've got the 4th rail bridge now as well. probably the best looking bit of this route is definitely crossing, you know, going on the bridges and seeing the other ones as well in the distance. The next stop is Dalmeny. Let's go. Doesn't say what type of river this actually is. What is it? It just says, oh, it's the River Forth. Of course it is. Jesus Christ. I'm so losing the plot. I mean, it's nearly midnight. I apologise. You know, I'm just making basic errors. Like, why is it called the Forth Rail Bridge? Well, I wonder what the river's called. Oh, right, yeah, it's called the Forth River. But that looks good. This is easily the best looking part of the route. You know, it's just got a vastness about it, you know, a sense of scale. Here we are, thundering through the, thundering across the Forth River on the Forth Rail Bridge. And this looks very good, no doubt about it. Yeah, the texturing maybe up close isn't as, you know, detailed or as polished, but in the cab, travelling along at 50 miles an hour, it's pretty good to me.
We'll soon arrive at Dalmeny. Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
Nearly there, nearly crossed the bridge. There we are, we've crossed the River Forth. Now approaching the station of Dalmeny. Another station I've yet to take a look at in detail. As in the previous service, it missed North Queen's Ferry and Dalmeny. Didn't stop at this station. I imagine that's what the inner circle services are for. They serve these stations. Let's take a look outside at Dalmeny. Station building looks the same as another few station stops actually. A lights here for South Queen's Ferry. Oh, hello. What's this? Penny and Ellie's Coffee Corner. Ooh. A coffee corner shop. Ooh. Little car park there. Roundabout. Bus stop. Oh no, I have seen this station actually. Thinking about it. I probably just didn't stop at the station, I just took my map round there. Let's go to the next stop, which is Edinburgh Gateway. Just under 4 miles away. We're nearly there. Nearly there. Got just a few more stops to go. Feels like a marathon this stream, blimey. Didn't think it would take this long. Oh well, onwards and upwards, as they say. Got a speed limit of 100 miles per hour coming up. Wow, it's quick. So what we'll do is we'll just trundle on this section of track here. You got a depot there, it's interesting. Is that where the trams go? That's probably where the little trams end up. That's interesting. Oh, I wonder if you could see it at a station we'll be stopping at. I don't know if I thought about that. I'll have a little peek at that. Because that's where the trams, the Edinburgh Trams depot is located. And obviously it follows the section of ScotRail Express, obviously, onwards then into the city centre of Edinburgh. So if I said Glasgow, I'm wrong. It's Edinburgh. It's weird because they are on the ScotRail Express route, the AI driven Edinburgh trams, but I never seen them on that route. But I have on this route, which is good. So at least they're there and they work on this route. ScotRail Express, well, on my version, no. This is a nice section to open the taps up and get the 170 up to speed.
We'll soon arrive at Edinburgh Gateway. Don't forget to take your belongings with you.
There's a station, Edinburgh Gateway. Thank you. Camera's having a moment now. There's the trams. Here it is. So this is the trams here. So the trams are located here. And there they are. You could see them in the distance. It's interesting actually, you can actually see the individual units on the map, so you can see whether they are out and about. And look, there's one there. That's a train. Now, I don't know the service frequency of the trams, but there's another one there rocketing towards the next station. But yeah, that's cool. It's good to see the trams are there and ready. I imagine that must be a station stop for them. I'm not too sure. But yeah, really cool to see. You know, you can get up close to the trams and inspect them at close quarters at the depot. Yeah, they're okay. You know, they're just modelled as, you know, in a reasonably good way. Obviously, the cab has no interior. The PIS displays don't work. There's a sound from a tram. No, it's interesting. Have the bell going, apparently. It's probably when they're about to move. Interesting, it's starting to fog up in the game. Might be in for some rain. But there's a nice touch, you know, at least you can see what the trams, the network on the trams are doing, so that's cool. You know, see which one's going where, what direction, and how close it is to the next station. I think there's only, one... 2, 3 stations, tram stops that is. I don't know if you can access them on, you know, in first person mode, but you know, at least you could see them in the free cam, so that's not too bad. The next stop is South Gyle.
We'll soon arrive at South Gyle. Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
Indeed. I think I've lost count how many times I've said indeed every time the bloody announcements keep going off. Sound like a broken record, I do apologise. Let's go. Looks like it's going to rain more than anything. The next stop is Haymarket. That's when we will rejoin the the main line into Edinburgh. Really misted up here right at the end. Hopefully, where is the tram? We might be able to catch it. We've got a mainline train coming up. Oh yeah, there's one tram there. That's going in the wrong direction. Never mind. Feels like this stream has been going on for hours and hours. I mean, it's nearly 2.5 hours. God, I was meant to start streaming way earlier, but obviously the game crashed on my first attempt when playing this route, which wasn't great. So I've had to then, you know, shut the game down, turn the stream off, restart it all up again, and then go on from there. Really. Passing the stadium, the rugby stadium. Don't think international football takes place there. Might be completely wrong.
We'll soon arrive at Haymarket. Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
Here is Haymarket. Obviously in the ScotRail Express route, these platforms are a desolate place because they wouldn't be served by the Class 170s, sadly. Hopefully maybe the ScotRail Express can get a new lease of life, you know, have an update which incorporates not only the depot moves at you know, Haymarket, but you know, AI 170s, you know, going in and out of Edinburgh Waverley, and you know, stopping at Haymarket and then trundling off the map, the in-game map, onto the Fife Circle. Let's take a look at the Glasgow, Edinburgh Waverley, sorry. You've got a train that's come or just arrived at Edinburgh from Glasgow. That's one of the 170s there. You've got the that's the LNER Zuma train that's just departing to go somewhere, either back to London or onwards to somewhere. My brain's so dead right now, I've no idea. The next and final stop is Edinburgh Waverley. Hooray! Nearly made it. And the stream will come to an end. God. I'll have a good sleep tonight, that's for sure. No doubt about that. It's interesting because, of course, these tracks and tunnels were never used by the 385s on the ScotRail Express, so this does feel like a new section of route or trackage to explore. The tunnels look good, the inside, I must say. Because obviously the 385s, you know, it's like being in a submarine. You have a little portal hole or something. You know, the windows, the visibility is so small compared to the bigger windows on the 170, so you can see a bit more, a lot more, in fact. Into the daylight.
We'll soon arrive at Edinburgh Waverley. Don't forget to take your belongings with you before you leave the train.
Thought the announcement would say something different then, as this is the terminating station of this service. Gee, that trap ballast there just on the entry exit of the tunnel, that doesn't look good. It's a completely different colour to the rest of the trap ballast around Edinburgh Waverley, but here we are coming into the platform 13 to be exact, of Edinburgh Waverley. Oh, now the game's decided that the mist has disappeared. Okay, whatever. Cruise up to the stopping point. Is that meant to be there? I suppose it is. Looks a bit odd in front of the buffers. Okay, so we've had a few trains come in at one's going, okay, they're all going to Haymarket, of course they are, but yeah, missed the LNER train, never mind. Never mind. Would be nice if the virtual destinations were shown on those PIS displays. They normally do on other routes, but not on this route. But there we go. That took me just under an hour and 9 minutes, so it's a little bit quicker. The inner circle, despite having more station stops. Actually, we stopped at Cardennan, Lochgelly, Cowdenbeath, Dunfermline, Queen Margaret, Dunfermline City, Rosyth, Inverkeithing, North Queensferry, Dalmeny, Edinburgh Gateway, South Gyle, Haymarket, and finally terminated at Edinburgh Waverley. And my goodness, am I going to get some sleep? I'm absolutely shattered mentally. Oh God, brain's gone to sleep. Just the last hour or so, just been mumbling along, probably saying complete utter crap. But well, we got there in the end. But there we are, that concludes the stream on my first look at the Fife Circle Line made by Rivet Games. Overall, I think it is a solid package. It's better than the ScotRail Express, there's no doubt about that. It's more, it's more variation, in terms of what you can do. Obviously, a lot more variation in the terrain, so some steep uphills and downhills, so it's obviously a bit of a challenge for the 170. Speaking of the 170, it's a decent unit, looks good. Sounds are a mixed bag. I mean, I don't know if they're all completely accurate, but obviously they've cherry-picked some sounds from existing multiple units in the game, mashed them all together, and at least the sounds are decent, But the timetable is much better than the ScotRail Express. Empty stop moves and all that kind of jazz. And actually, speaking of timetables, we'll take a look at it. So you've got a little bit more to do. So you can use the 385s, just going from Edinburgh Waverley to Haymarket. Got one there going somewhere. Oh, you got a depot move, I think, there. That's good. It's a nice touch. You got the Class 40, which does a rail tour service around the inner loop as well as the outer loop. The Jubilee has a couple of rail tour services. Lunchtime circular. And the Flying Scotsman has a few rail tours there, what you can do there around the inner loop, and I imagine the outer loop as well. And obviously the 170 has lots of different services you can do there. There's depot moves as well, which is quite good. But overall, I'd give this route, there's some peaks and troughs of its scenery, there's some good bits, there's some not so good bits. I think a solid 6.5 out of 10. I think that's fairly respectable. Is it Rivet's best product that they've released so far? Route wise, I'd say yes. I definitely think you should get it if you're into the Scottish, stuff in Train Sim World. Definitely get this on a discount, not at full price. This is nowhere near worth £30 or $40. But on a discount, I think this is a solid product by Rivet Games. But there we are. That concludes this stream on the Fife Circle Line. If you'd enjoyed it, then feel free to hit the thumbs up button below. And if you like what you see or hear, then feel free to subscribe to the channel. The next live stream will be tomorrow, or today, as I'm in a new day already, which is Monday, the 3rd of June 2024. So I'll be taking a look at either the Semmering Barn or the Long Island Railroad commuter. Either way, I'm looking forward to taking a look at one of those two routes. I will decide. I'll sleep on it and decide which route to stream on. But either way, I'm looking forward to taking a look at both of them. And hopefully you can join me tomorrow and see which route I will take a look at. So I'd like to say once again, thank you very much for watching. Take care. And I'll see you next time.